Hey guys, so today we thought we'd make a video.
Basically this is like a follow-up video. We put a video out a few weeks ago about all the imperfections of our van and things that we would like to get sorted. Not getting all of them sorted because that would be impossible. There's too many.
In preparation for the big trip. By big, I mean big. We're heading from southern Spain up to the Arctic Circle in a 28-year-old van. We must be mad.
So first off, mechanically wise, we've just done the oil and filter change. We've given 2 new tyres on the front. They were seriously bold.
Dangerously bold.
And we also changed our brake fluid. We had an issue where our brakes overheated coming down some Slovenian Alp pass.
Couple of times, smoky brakes.
Smoky brakes. We ended up getting the shoes replaced in Croatia, and thanks to some of the viewers on recommendation, we got the brake fluid changed recently as well. So apart from that, he is running really well.
And that's the most important thing. As long as he's mechanically sound,
then everything else we can botch up ourselves.
Exactly. So one of the biggest issues we had with the van was the massive crack in the back window.
This, as you can see, this window has been cracked. It's been a small crack for months and we taped up, and then just recently it's just gone all the way across. We'd just like to say thanks for all of your suggestions from the previous video on what we should do to fix the issue. This is what we ended up doing.
On a serious note, please do not try any of the following things you may see at home. All the work has been carried out by trained professionals. So
yes, doing a few jobs on the van today, and we are having a go at cutting out the back window ourselves. So let's go and see how Nick's getting on. How's it going, love?
It's alright, it may look like a cowboy job and we don't know what we're doing, and we kind of don't, but no, it's going alright. We've got this little rotary blade and it seems to be working. Just got to be careful.
One wrong move, one slightly wrong move, and then we basically probably have to pay about 400 euros. So we really want this to work.
I'm just staying well away from the edge, from the other sheet of plastic.
As you can see, here is the window underneath. Going all right. There's the pieces. Good job for double glazing, that's all I can say. And hopefully should be okay. Should be okay. Get away with it without paying out lots of money. Get in there.
There goes the moment of truth.
Did we manage to cut the window out?
Oh, look at that.
We did manage to cut the window out. This is not glass, but you can probably still cut yourself on it.
Wow, check out this new window.
Check out your brand new window.
The window is out.
Pretty happy with that. I didn't know what was going to happen when you start cutting. I mean, it seems okay, right? Yeah, but pretty impressed. Pretty happy.
That, no?
I'm really happy with that. That saved us 400 euros. And on today's episode of Botch Up Vinny, we're sanding down what we cut off because it was all jagged. So we're using this little tool to sand it down and give it a nice smooth finish. The final job is to silicone along this, in this edge if you like, because obviously this part of the old window is still there, which we cut out, and then the water can get in between the two. So what we thought is we'll just silicone all in that edge so the water just hits there and comes out rather than hits there and soaks in. Silicone today.
So just the sides.
Yeah, just inside there.
Should be alright.
Concentration on the face of the silicone.
So yeah, we're really happy with the job we did on the window. Saved us a bill of 400 euros from the mechanic, and now we can see out of it.
What is crazy about that is when we went to get the quote from the mechanic, he was quoting us for a piece of glass. And you know what? The piece of glass was like less than 200 euros. But then he said the rubber seal to put in would be 300 euros. So it was closer to 500 euros. I mean, obviously we weren't going to pay that at all. That was the only quote we got. Probably could have got it cheaper somewhere else, but we're so happy we just managed to do that ourselves and not pay out any money. So that was brilliant. So obviously we completely cleaned the van inside and out when we got back. We emptied everything out and we got into all the nooks and crannies and gave them a proper good scrub.
She did a fantastic job on the wheels as well, because obviously you've got the plastic rims. We took those off and underneath it was like totally black. So yeah, good girl. She took them off and gave them a proper scrub and they came up gleaming. Shame we have to cover them up though.
And look, now that is not black anymore. There's the black. Yeah. We wanted to give the van a little bit of a new look on the outside, spruce him up a little bit, the best we can. So we had like some old graphic stickers on there that had kind of just faded and started to peel off in the sun over the last couple of years. So we took all of those stickers off.
Oh no. Oh no, Sarah didn't do it perfectly. Oh, what's happened?
Well, that was because I was vlogging.
Sarah was just moaning at me for not getting off in one go, and now look at her little mess there.
That's because I was talking, not concentrating the whole time I did it properly. And it was a little bit tricky to get rid of that gooey, horrible residue. Right guys, so thanks for all your suggestions of how to get rid of this sticky stuff. And because we had WD-40 at hand, we tried that first, and I used it with a credit card. Someone suggested that and it works really well. Like, I've done this so quick. In fact, this is a €1 can or whatever it was of just cheap stuff, which is obviously a quarter or a fifth of the price of WD-40. So I've just sprayed loads of this, wiped it with this, and then used a credit card. It just comes off so quickly. So thanks for your suggestions, and that's the way forward. I didn't even have to try the petrol or the mayonnaise or the other suggestions. So yes, very happy. So also on the outside of the van, we spray painted a couple of corners on the bumpers.
Some of the paint had peeled off in the sun, or maybe someone had knocked into us. Don't know how that happened. But yeah, we just sprayed that up black so it's nice and shiny and looking quite smart again.
Yeah, he also did a little bit of the rust. Only little spots that are coming through, and you know, we just did a proper kind of rough job, really rough job.
As in the paint isn't smooth at all.
Yeah, but we're going to just add some more stickers and a couple of our own graphics to spruce them up just that little bit more before we do head off. Another thing we fixed and patched up, botched up, literally, are our chairs. Nice, fresh patches. No more rips and holes in any of the material for now, but I will be taking the sewing kit with us. Yeah, so that's the beauty of a patchwork chair. When it does get ripped or faded in the sun, you can just stick another patch over the top. The last patch we did, this one just here, is actually an old tea towel from Australia, and I actually quite like it. A little bit of Aboriginal art going on. Right, yes, we have also made ourselves some thermal style blinds for the windows. So check these out. So it's got the silver foily stuff on one side, and then the other side has got like a thick lino material, and that's actually really, yeah, it's really padded. And then we've just kind of Gorilla taped all the way around the outside, stuck Velcro both sides, and put the Velcro on the windows. So these will just sit up against the windows. Got a matching blind on this window, so we'll have one of these and the blinds and curtains on each window. So this is going to help hopefully with a bit of insulation in the van and keep us a little bit warmer up in Scandinavia.
And then we had some lino left, so we also spruced up this step. Looking pretty smart.
This is the one that we've got for that window I made previously. Now we've got this really good thick one for that window, and we're going to make one for the back as well. And these are really good because we've mentioned before our van is so drafty. All the windows, the two side windows, they've got gaps in them, and it does get really cold when there's a cold wind blowing. And this, you put these up and that completely eliminates that, so that's brilliant.
Another little alteration we made is in our wardrobe. Space is essential in a small van. When we first bought this van, it was just a hanging rail there, which is ridiculous. I mean, who's going to hang up clothes in a van? So yeah, we put shelves in previously to give us more room for storage, and recently we've just carpeted them. Every little helps. Another fantastic cowboy job by the explorers.
It doesn't look cowboy at all. Look how neat this is. So
we put these shelves in before,
and we've got carpet in our wardrobes now, and we've just put a bit of what's this called? Gorilla tape. And look how neat and cozy the wardrobe looks. Awesome. We've also previously talked about all the little puddles and leaks and things like this that we get in our van when it rains really heavy, and you know, we're not actually going to do much about this at all. It's not a massive issue, but we did do a little job to improve the flooring in the front of the van. This is my old yoga mat, and we're just cutting this down to basically slot underneath this big foamy bit, just for some extra padding in the front. This is like a sponge, so if we thought we'd put something underneath, then that'll stop this from getting wet. It sounds complicated, but we know what we're talking about. As always, we've got two little helpers here that are actually just getting in the way. Up there,
Hey Derby.
up there. This is the floor, which actually we were thinking that this could be a little bit more rusty, but it's not actually that bad at all. There's some little rust spots that you'd expect in a 28-year-old van, but it's, you know, it's pretty solid. Let's see if this fits in.
Gear stick. Oh, look at that. Like a glove. So that should stop a lot of the sound and that moisture. Hey Charlie.
So you see, yoga mats can be used for other things, not just yoga. Isn't that right, Diz? So again, we've talked about this before. Our electrics in the van are very dated, very old. They were all a bit temperamental, and we did have a little bit of a tinker the other day. So another job today is to get this thing out, which is the old Truman is it called? Traumatic gas heater, which was probably installed when the van was originally made into a van, probably about 20 years ago. It's proper ancient. You have to bash it to get it working. It's quite temperamental and it uses a lot of gas. It's not actually working at all at the moment either, so we've decided to just take this out, and maybe in the future we might get a diesel heater, but for now we're just going to take this out, and then we've got this space down here as well. Yes, the higgledy-piggledy electrics in the van. I mean, we're not going to change too much. Just taking out the wiring for the heater that we didn't need. There was a few other wires that were just loose and, you know, not in use. So we've taken those out. We've just fixed this tap. That was a bit faulty. So that's all working again now. We had to rewire the little mechanism inside the tap. And yes, so it's working, everything is working best it can, and we've now got that big space where the heater used to be. So we're quite happy, but these little fiddly jobs, when everything's old, all the wires are very old and kind of rusted away and stuff, and it could really do with a whole new wiring system in the van, but we're not going to do that. So I think it was definitely a good idea to get rid of that old gas heater. It was just consuming far too much gas, and it was just so temperamental. Write us a comment if you have fitted a diesel heater in your van, and let us know how simple they are to install, and yes, any issues that we might need to consider if we do put one down there in that space. That would be great. So as you can see, we have been a little bit busy tinkering around with the van, preparing him for the huge big trip up to the Arctic Circle.
And we have boosted our solar considerably.
We have upped our game a little bit with that and got ourselves a new leisure battery, but we'll talk about that more in an upcoming video.
Exciting stuff that though.
Okay guys, so that wraps this one up. So stay tuned, there's plenty more to come. We're not going anywhere.
Well, we are going somewhere. We're going to the Arctic Circle, but not quite yet.
Not quite yet. We still have to get past an MOT over the next couple of weeks, and we've still got quite a few little jobs to get done with the van before we do head off on the big adventure.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that like button below.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel, then please do, and keep the comments coming because we absolutely love to hear from you.
And we'll see you in the next video.